Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam. Ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmeen. Amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. I welcome all the viewers on the Peace TV network, the Peace TV English, the Peace TV Urdu, the Peace TV Bangla, the Peace TV Chinese, and all the viewers on my social media platforms, which are the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitter, and the Al-Hidayah platform. I welcome all the viewers with Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of Almighty God, be on all of you. I welcome you to this program, Ask Dr. Zakir, Season 11, Session 4. Here you're most welcome to ask any questions on Islam and comparative religion, or any question which a non-Muslim may have asked you and you are unable to reply. This is your opportunity. Or any question you find in the media which you want to have information about Islam, this is your opportunity. You're most welcome to ask your question on any of the social media platform, but the best and the most high chances that it will be asked, it will be taken by me, is on the WhatsApp. You can mention your question in brief, along with your name, your profession, the city and country of origin, on the WhatsApp number +60 11 21 33 33 60. I repeat, +60 11 21 33 33 60. We'll take the first question that has come on the WhatsApp. Assalamu alaikum Sheikh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. From Ali Al-Marri, Doha, Qatar, businessman. Is it true that the below article of used words are to be corrected before we spread it? And there is a message that has been spread on the social media with my name. It says, Dr. Zakir Naik. Dear all Muslim brothers and sisters, please read and think of your Iman. Don't write God, G-O-D. Please always write Allah, A-L-L-A-H, because there is no description of God in the Holy Quran. Don't say mosque. Always say masjid, because Islamic organization has found that mosque means mosquitoes. Don't write Mecca with M-E-C-C-A. Always write correctly Makkah, M-A-K-K-A-H, because Mecca, M-E-C-C-A, means a house of wines. And the fourth paragraph, don't write Muhammad, M-O-H-D, in short form. Always write completely Muhammad, M-U-H-A-M-M-A-D. Don't write Muhammad, M-O-H-D, in the short form. Always write completely Muhammad, M-U-H-A-M-M-A-D, because M-O-H-D, Muhammad short form, means a dog with big mouth. If you have groups, please forward it to our Muslim Ummah. Please don't keep it in your inbox. Share the knowledge. Please read this to the end. You hardly have time for Allah, but He loves you and always blesses you. This message, which is spread in my name, is there in the social media for the past several years. I don't exactly know when it originated, but at the outset, let me tell you, this message was not written by me. I came across it a couple of times earlier, but since you have asked this question, let me tell you, this message is not written by me, and it is there in the social media since many years. As far as whether the information in this message, though I did not write, is it correct or wrong? The first information is correct, and the third is partly correct. The second and the fourth is completely wrong. Now let us discuss each of these four messages that have been mentioned point-wise. Number one, it said, that don't write God, G-O-D, with a capital G, capital O, capital D. Please always write Allah, L-L-A-H, because there is no description of God in the Holy Quran. This first message is correct, and I've said that in my talks on concept of God, image, world religion, and other talks of mine, that God is not the appropriate translation of the English word Allah. And why do we Muslims prefer calling Allah A-L-L-A-H or A-L-L-A-A-H with the Arabic word Allah instead of the English word God? Because the Arabic word Allah, it cannot be played around with. It's a unique word. Whereas the English word God, G-O-D, if you add S to it, it becomes gods, meaning plural of God. There is no plural of Allah. Qul huwallahu ahad. Says Allah one and only. If you add D-E-S-S to God, it becomes goddess, meaning a female God. There is no male Allah or female Allah in Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has got no gender. If you add a father to God, it becomes Godfather. There is no Allah Abba or Allah Father in Islam. If you add a mother to God, it becomes Godmother. There is no Allah Mother or Allah Ammi in Islam. If you prefix a tin before God, it becomes tin God, meaning a fake God. There is no tin Allah in Islam. That's the reason I say in my talks that God is not the appropriate translation of the Arabic word Allah. So the right word that Muslims should always use is Allah. But when you use this word God, when you are speaking to non-Muslims, I've got no objection. Because the non-Muslim may not be aware what is the meaning of the Arabic word Allah. So when you are speaking to non-Muslims, and if you use this word, or you write this word, there's no problem. Because English language cannot comprehend the Arabic word Allah. So for easy understanding, if you use this word God, when you are speaking to non-Muslims so they understand, for example, when we say, La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah. So when you use the word God to translate Allah, because the non-Muslim doesn't know what Allah is, I think there is no problem. But when Muslims speak among themselves, they should use the Arabic word Allah for Allah and not the English word God or the Urdu word Khuda, etc. Hope this explains the first part of the message that has been spread in the social media post. The second is, don't say mosque, M-O-S-Q-U-E, always say masjid, because Islamic organization has found that mosque means mosquitoes. To say that mosque means mosquito is baseless. There are many people who try and say that mosque is derived from the Spanish word mosca, which means mosquito. Tell you frankly, mosquito is a Spanish word. It's not an English word. The English have taken from the Spanish word mosquito, which is derived from mosca, which means a fly. Mosquito means a small fly. And there is no connection between mosquito and mosque. Mosque is an English word. In Spanish, the word is mezquita for mosque. The translation for masjid in Spanish is mezquita. And in French, it is mosque. So the English word mosque has been taken from the French word mosque, which means masjid, and has become mosque. So to say that mosque means mosquito, it's totally baseless. It has got no etymology. It's totally baseless. So in English, if you use the word mosque for masjid, there is no problem at all. And this is the English translation of the Arabic word masjid, and it does not mean mosquito. Hope that answers the question. The third message mentioned in this message is, don't write Mecca, M-E-C-C-A. Always write correctly Makkah, M-A-K-K-H, because Mecca, M-E-C-C-A, means a house of vines. And this message is partly correct because I have said in some of my lectures earlier that the right spelling of the Arabic word Makkah is M-A-K-K-A-H, and don't spell it as M-E-C-C-A. And I have a reason for that. To say that Mecca means M-E-C-C-A, a house of vines, is baseless. Mecca in English means a place which is of a gathering or where people are attracted for an event. That's the English meaning. But the right word for the city in Saudi Arabia where the Prophet was born is Makkah. And the more correct spelling, if you transliterate it from Makkah, is M-A-K-K-A-H. I'm not so much particular if someone makes small mistakes in transliteration, and that's common. But why do I say don't say Mecca, M-E-C-C-A? Because Mecca, if you search, it's Mecca Bingo, is a chain of gambling dens and casinos in UK. There is a company in UK which owns this Mecca Bingo, and they have got 76 branches in UK. They also have branches in Belgium and other countries of casinos and gambling dens. So Mecca Bingo is known for gambling. I don't know whether they purposely use this word Mecca to, maybe because of the city Mecca. I'm not aware of that. But to see to it that we differentiate the correct word Makkah, M-A-K-K-A-H, I do prefer, and I tell to the people that when you write in English for the city Makkah, where the Prophet was born in Saudi Arabia, preferably write M-A-K-K-A-H and don't write M-E-C-C-A. Because M-E-C-C-A, Mecca Bingo, is a chain of gambling dens and casinos. So to differentiate between these two, I said that, but this information that Mecca is house of vines, I'm not aware from where did this person get from. So therefore I said that the third message is partly right. And the last and the fourth message in this post is, don't write M-O-H-D, that's the short form from Muhammad. Don't write M-O-H-D, always write completely Muhammad, M-U-H-A-M-M-A-D, because M-O-H-D, short form for Muhammad, means a dog with a big mouth. I am personally not in favor of writing M-O-H-D, short form for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's the name of a prophet, but I did not know that Muhammad means a dog with big mouth or not. So I went on the Google and I searched. And I found out in the Google search, according to Dr. Zakir Naik, Muhammad M-O-H-D short form means dog with a big mouth. That means this social media post became so viral, millions of people saw it, so Google search now has said, okay, according to Dr. Zakir Naik. So Google doesn't have that intelligence of, of trying to find out whether it's authentic by Dr. Zakir Naik or not. So when you search, does Muhammad M-O-H-D means a dog with a big mouth, it will pop up. Dr. Zakir Naik says that. And the full post you will see. The full complete post with all these 4 messages will pop up, and it will come that Dr. Zakir Naik, according to Dr. Zakir Naik, Muhammad means a dog with big mouth. Please let me make it very clear. I never said this, Nauz Billah, and I never said that M-O-H-D short form for Muhammad means a dog with big mouth. This is baseless. But I personally believe that it's preferable when you're writing, write Muhammad in the full form. But in my mobile, I use the word M-O-H-D short form. Why? I have a reason. Because the spelling of Muhammad are various. I think there are more than 50 types of ways in which you can spell Muhammad. And there is M-O-H-A-M-M-E-D, 8 letters. In these 8 letters, 4 are variable. M in the starting, H the third letter, and the first M and the last D, these 4 are constant. The remaining 4 letters can change. So there can be various permutation and combination how you can spell the word Muhammad. It can be M-O-H-A-M-M-E-D. The first letter can have, the second letter can have 2 options, either M-O or M-U. So it can be M-O-H-A-M-M-E-D or M-U-H-A-M-M-E-D. The fourth letter, M-O-H-A, can again be changed into variety. Muhammad, Muhammad, again, the second M, M-O-H-A-M-M. The sixth letter M can be there or cannot be there. Some people spell Muhammad with single M, some people spell Muhammad with a double M. And the second last letter E can either be E, can be A. So when you do a mathematical calculation, because of these 4 variables, the second letter and the M can be there or not be there, the 7th letter E or A, the various permutation and combination, you can have more than 50 different options. So in my search, when I write the name, some people spell M-O-H, some people spell M-U-H. When I write the way they write in the visiting card, I don't remember which spelling has each Muhammad used for himself. So when I used to search for Muhammad, the name doesn't appear. I said, I know it's there in my mobile. It doesn't, because I don't know what spelling has he used. So in my mobile, all the Muhammad I've spelled as M-O-H-D, common. So that there's no confusion. It's easy to find. Though personally while writing, I never prefer writing the short form, M-O-H-D. I don't like it. But because there is a technical error of the different types of spelling available, and when you search, similarly, I know that I've mentioned this Yusuf in my mobile. When I type, it's not coming. Y-U-S-U-F, it's not there. Oh, it's not coming, I'm sure of it. Then I realize later on when I get some other way, he spelled it Y-U-S-O-U-F, Yusuf. The same way there are some names which can be spelled in multiple ways. So in my mobile, I use one common spelling, irrespective how the person has spelled his name. I use the same, so that when I search for his name in my mobile, I find it. So in my mobile, I do use the word M-O-H-D for short form of Muhammad, because if I type Muhammad, there will be a few hundred M-O-H-D. It is the most common name in the full world. The most common name in the 8 billion human beings in the world, out of which approximately 4 billion would be male, and out of that, out of 2 billion Muslims, 1 billion Muslims would be Muslim males. Surely millions of them have been named by the name Muhammad. It is the most common name. But this message that don't write Muhammad M-O-H-D short form because it means a dog with a big mouth is baseless. It's totally wrong. But I do suggest that it's preferable not to write short forms when you're writing a letter or referring to someone. Better write the full form, irrespective of the spelling, maybe M-O-H or M-U-H or double M or a single M, or whether it be E-D or A-D, whatever it is, that doesn't make a difference, but preferable write the full form. So just to cap it up, that this message was not circulated by me, and I tried to find out. Some say that it was already there in 2016. So 2016 means how many years back? About 7 years back. When it originated, I don't know, but it's very common, become very famous. So in this message, the first one is almost correct. The third one is partly correct. The second and the fourth one is completely wrong. And I've given you the reply to each of these 4 words, that what is the correct ruling. Hope this answers the question. The second question. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Suhail Sheikh from London, UK. I am a businessman. I am your fan and I have watched many of your videos. Sometimes I read in the social media some information along with your photo, but I am sure you have not said it. Can you please guide us how to verify whether the posts circulating in the social media is from you or not from you, whether it is true or whether it is fake? Suhail Sheikh from London had asked that he has seen many of my videos, he is my fan, and sometimes he comes across certain posts which he knows that I have not said it. So he wants me to know, how do you identify whether the post that is there in the social media, is it from me or not? And let me tell you, there are thousands of posts in the social media which I have not created those posts. Yet, those posts may have my name by Dr. Zakir Naik, or may also have my photo, very good photo taken from my website, taken from my Facebook, high quality image. They put my photo, they put a message, but that message is not from me. When I scanned these messages, on an average, if I make a rough estimate, out of the thousands of posts that are available in the social media, which is not from me. First, how do you come to know whether it's originally from me or not? Number one, don't just go on the name. Anyone can write Zakir Naik. Don't go on the photo. There are hundreds of my photos available in the social media of high quality, very good photographs. Anyone can go on my website, copy it, can go on the Facebook, copy it. We have got no copyrights and use it. So photograph or name is not the criteria to know whether it's officially from me or not. One of the ways is you can go to my website. The name of my website is zakirnaik.com. So if you go to my website zakirnaik.com, and there are what sections on Peach TV, on social media, on Facebook, and you go there, many of the posts which I put on the social media is also there on my Facebook, on my website. So if you go on my website, and if you see it is there, you can be sure it is a post that I have made, it is coming from me. Or you can go on my Facebook. Now, when you go on my Facebook, if you type Zakir Naik, there are more than 1,000 pages by the name of Zakir Naik or close to it. One day I thought there will be 10, 20, maybe 50, maybe 100, and I started counting. That was a few years back. I think maybe 8, 9 years back, when my following was much lesser. And I counted, I reached 1,000, and then I stopped. That means surely about 7, 8 years back, that's in India, there were more than 1,000 Facebook pages by the name Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik, Dr. Zakir Naik, Zakir Naik fan page, Zakir Naik so and so, Zakir Naik that, so on and so forth. So to know which is my official Facebook page, it should have a blue tick. So one way to find out it's official is the blue tick. Or at present, the followers on my Facebook are, mashallah, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is 23.5 million. It is the largest following amongst any English religious speaker in the world, whether Christian, Hindu, Muslim. Among the English speakers who are religious speakers in the world, the largest following, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is mine. It has more than 23.5 million followers. More than 19 million likes, but the followers are more than 23.5 million. Now, you'll be shocked to know that if you do a search on the top 5 English Muslim speakers, after me, that is 23.5 million, mashallah, is Dr. Abu Amina Bilal Phillips. He has a following of 7.9 million. You know, his Islamic International, the Open Islamic University, OIU, is very famous. So on his official Facebook, which has a blue tick. He has got more than 7.9 million followers. He's number 2. Number 3 is, mashallah, Mufti Ismail Menk on his official Facebook with the blue tick. Has got more than 5.1 million followers as of today. And the 4th is, again, Dr. Zakir Naik. 4.5 million followers. But when you go and open it, the URL, everyone says Dr. Zakir Naik. Even my official Facebook says Dr. Zakir Naik. It has a blue tick. But when you see the URL or the real type you have typed to get on the Facebook link, it is Facebook link stroke Zakir Naik. This, which is 4th in the list, is Zakir Naik official. So no one types Zakir Naik. The top Zakir Naik all comes. So mine will come first, this will come. So, and what they do, the same photograph which I put on my Facebook, this person who has got 4.5 million followers also puts that. And he says that this is a fan page of Dr. Zakir Naik. So if you read, you will come to know it is not mine, doesn't have the blue tick. But the 4th largest amongst the English speaker is again Dr. Zakir Naik, but run by some people, some of my fans. The 5th is also Dr. Zakir Naik. And then when you go inside, it says unofficial Dr. Zakir Naik, managed by a fan. So another fan follower, a fan of mine, has made posts, and normally we don't object anyone copying any of my video. We have got no copyright. We don't, as long as they don't manipulate, they don't create mischief. So these 2 people who are number 4 and number 5 have 4.5 million followers. It's huge. They give ads, they monetize it, they make money. As long as they're not doing any mischief, I've got no objection. As far as my personal Facebook is concerned with the blue tick, we don't monetize at all. We don't give any ads. We don't monetize at all. We don't make a single penny out of it. Yes, they tell me that if you want to monetize, I can make $50,000 a month, and on the YouTube, I can make $50,000 a month, on the Facebook, maybe $100,000 a month. But we are doing it for the sake of Allah alone. I don't want to merge or risk losing my sawab for the money. So we never monetize any of the social media platform, talking about the free social media platform, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube. We don't have any ads. We don't take any ads, we don't take any money. But these fan followers, of course, they put ads, they make a revenue, maybe, I don't know what they will be making, $10,000, $20,000 a month, we don't know. So similarly, but it says there, it is managed by a fan of Dr. Zakir Naik. But has a following of 4.5 million. 4.5 million is not small. So this, some of the posts you find, it does say that, Zakir Naik official. So if it says Zakir Naik official, it's not from me officially. For it to be officially my Facebook, it should say only Zakir Naik, the URL. Should say Facebook/Zakir Naik. Or it should have a blue tick. The 5th most popular also says Dr. Zakir Naik, but if you go into URL, it is some OH Ummah something, and it says there on the welcome page, on the home page, that unofficial. It's managed by the fans, and they keep on. And many a times you find they are more popular because many people click photo with me, hundreds, regularly. But I click with very few. And amongst those I click, I post only those who I feel are important on my Facebook. But those who click with me, they post on their Facebook. So these fan following, how does it reach 4.5 million? If someone put my photo, they go on their website, they copy it and they put it here. So if they want to know about me or about my whereabouts, they may find more from these fan pages than my own. Because ours is all authentic, they are not very careful. Sometimes they may give wrong information, they may. Inshallah, maybe the niyyah is good. So may Allah reward them. But many a times they may pick up something which is unauthentic, and someone makes a fake post about me. They may they may copy it and post it on the fan page fan page, and people may think it's officially from me. So please don't, if you see it on a Facebook of Dr. Zakir Naik but not officially from me, if it does not have the blue tick, it's not from me. If it has the blue tick, it's officially from me. So my YouTube had the black tick. My Instagram did not have, they did not give me a blue tick since many years. Recently, a few months back, I think in the last week of April, few months back, they gave me a blue tick, and alhamdulillah, now my Instagram has started, having followers. Now it has reached 1.1 million. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they did not. But natural, these people, when you have a large following, they restrict it. They want you to pay money, but we don't. Everything is organic. We don't spend a single dollar in marketing, or there are some of the religious speakers who keep on pumping in money so that their followers increase. Ours is purely organic. We have not paid a single cent for any of the followers or any of my social media platform. But there are many people who keep on, increasing their followers with the help of boosting it or by paying money, etc. But we don't believe in this. All our followers organic. So coming to the question, how will you come to know it's authentic or not? It's mainly from my website, or going to my Facebook, or on my Pinterest. Pinterest doesn't have such a large following, but it's easy to find the post there. So for post, that's a good source. When I checked the various posts which we do not make, but it's there in my name, roughly I can say that out of the thousands of posts that have been made by others, most of them my fans, most of them, I can say that 40% of these posts, what they do, they hear me from my talks, what I say, and they make it into a post and they release it. I've quoted a verse of the Quran, they quote the verse of the Quran, give the reference, and my photograph, Dr. Zakir Naik. So it's not a post from me, but it's authentic. Or they may copy exactly verbatim what I said in one of my talks, and they will post it. So this 40% of the post, which are copying what I have said in my talk and making a post out of it, alhamdulillah, may Allah give them ajr. If they're doing it to spread the message, I have no problem with that. No problem. There is another 40% of the post which I have not said it, but yet it is authentic. For example, they want to promote a verse of the Quran. So if they put my photo, the verse would be read by more people. So they take a verse of the Quran, correct Quran, authentic, correct translation. They write the reference and they publish it. So there are more views. So this 40%, these posts authentic, but it's not said by me. They may take a hadith from Bukhari and give the reference, Sahih hadith. So 40% of these posts actually what I said but not published by us, it's correct. Another 40% which I have not said, but every verse of the Quran is authentic. All the hadith of Bukhari are correct, or Muslim. So 40% of the posts which I have not said, but it is from the Quran, or it is authentic hadith, or something about Islam which is correct but I have not said it. The remaining 20% of the post, it is not from us, but the information in it is incorrect. So on average, those posts which are not made by us, 80% are correct. 40% what I have actually said and I agree with it. 40% which I have not said, but they are from the correct source, from the Quran or from the Sahih Hadith, or the information of Islam is authentic. The remaining 20% is not authentic. And this further can be divided into 4 categories. There may be maybe 5% of these posts, maybe a fan of mine. He may know I did not say it, but he may think it's correct. And he may quote a hadith with my photograph or with my name. Maybe a Zaif hadith. He may not be aware that all the hadith of Abu Dawud are not sahih. So his niyyah may be good. So if his niyyah is good, his intention is good, and if he's making a mistake, may Allah forgive him and may Allah reward him. So 5% of them may be to have more views of that hadith, may quote a zaif hadith and put my name. It has the views, but the hadith is zaif. So they think it is correct, but unfortunately it's not correct, and they promote it, not with the intention of maligning me. There's another 5% from this 20%, 1/4 of that. They know that I don't agree with that matter on the post, but they want to promote their ideology or their view of Islam or their understanding of Islam. So they may quote something which is bidat in that post with my name or with my photo, so that more people accept it, knowing very well that I disagree with it. This is wrong. This is totally wrong. They know I don't agree with that view, but because they know that if they say it, more people will watch, so they take my photograph or they use my name, they put the information which may be wrong, which may be a bidat, which may be not my view, but so that more people watch it or view it or like it. The remaining 10%, or 20% is not correct, I have told about first 5%, second 5%. The remaining 5% may be those groups of Muslim which are deviated and want to malign me, so they give some information which is not authentic purposely to malign my name. Let me say something. And the last 5% are made by non-Muslims. They make posts with my photograph to malign me, and some of the posts have become very viral. And one such post is with my photograph, with my name down, saying that a Muslim is allowed to have sex with his slave girl. And if he does not have a slave girl and his wife is not available, he can fulfill his lust with a goat or sheep. Dr. Zakir Naik. Anyone who has heard my lectures will know it's a fabrication. So this post, I believe, has been made by the non-Muslims. Most of the non-Muslims who watch my videos, alhamdulillah, are my fans, but there are some political groups, from India and from other parts of the world, politicians. My main problem with the non-Muslims are the politicians. Otherwise, the general non-Muslims, majority who watch my videos or watch my lectures live, majority, you could say more than 75%, they are my fans, and some may be neutral. But these politically motivated people, whether it be from UK, whether it be from India, whether it be from Malaysia, for the political gain, for the vote bank, they may create a fitna that, like how in India, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, I'm a terrorist to his vote bank, I'm giving hate speeches, I'm doing money laundering. And I said that in my earlier live Q&A, that the Modi team is very well trained in the social media, and they have got hundreds of cyber troopers. And these cyber troopers, hundreds of them, each one of them, if you see the videos of those people who were working with the Modi team and left, they say that the lowest person who's there, each one has 15 mobiles. The lowest team has 15 mobiles, then the supervisor, then there is the assistant manager, then there is the manager. It's a full pyramid of hundreds of people are working for them. And many of them, they go to the popular Muslim religious speakers in their website, in the name of Muslims, and they try and disrupt. Whether a live session is going, they want to disrupt, they want to use some name, they come as a Muslim name, and they write comments. Anyone who is well versed with the media will know this person is not a Muslim. So these people even make posts in the social media to malign the very popular Muslim speakers and religious speakers. So they have this modus operandum that how when a live session is going on the Facebook, on the YouTube, they come and they attack. So you may think, 20 people are coming. There are only 2 of them. Each one may be having 10, 15 mobile. 2 people come, each one 10 mobile, and they keep on, writing messages from different mobiles. So 2-3 people come and it looks like 20 people have come. And that's how they do. Some may have Hindu name, some may have Muslim name. They ask questions, they keep on replying, they keep on supporting one another, and that's how they come. So this is common. So 5% of these posts have been made by those who are non-Muslims and who are my enemies, like the post I mentioned. And there's one post that came with my photograph, very good quality photograph. Prophet says that the women are 90% to blame for the rape. Means the women, when they are raped, 90% is their fault. And it continues and says all rubbish. And then says that in Islam, the man is made to, the woman is made to satisfy the sexual urges of the man. And if a woman, if she satisfies the husband, she's serving Allah. So all these, post in the name of Prophet Muhammad and the Hadith, anyone who's a Muslim will know that nowhere did the Prophet say that 90% of the rape cases are because of the blame on the woman. So they say many things in the name of Islam. So the way they say it, you can come to know this is made by non-Muslim. Because the Muslim will never write such things in the name of the Prophet. So this in short was just a brief that when you find any post in any person's name, the social media, if you are not savvy with the social media, when you search on the Google, you should know the statistics. How do you come to know whether it's authentic or not? When you're doing research, how do you come to know? On the Wikipedia, everything on the Wikipedia is not true. According to statistics, 2/3 of what is said on the Wikipedia is true. Or Wikipedia is an open encyclopedia, anyone can write. There is no view of verification. They give their views of verification and references, but there's no one person checking whether it's right or wrong. So anyone can contribute. So the rough estimate is 2/3 of what is said on the Wikipedia is correct. So how do you find out what is right, what is wrong? So when you go on the social media and you search and ask Sheikh Google something, if you're not well versed in how to identify, you may get lost or you may be misinformed. You may start believing that this person who's actually good has said rubbish. Or you may believe that the person is nonsense and he said some good things. So like imagine, I'm trying to find out that does MOHD mean dog with a big mouth? And the pop-in comes, Dr. Zakir Naik says, I never said it. So a person who doesn't know this will start believing, he may be my fan. Because he's not well versed. So more than 95% who Google and try and find out, did Dr. Zakir Naik said that Muhammad MOHD means a dog with a big mouth, and they'll believe in it. Unless this video now of mine becomes famous and it pops up again, and if the title is saying Muhammad does not mean a dog with a big mouth, then people will, okay, they see my face, I'm giving the answer, but it's difficult. So that's the reason you cannot blindly believe in what you see on the social media. It's a great bane. There are a lot of advantages, but you should know how to utilize it. Otherwise, you can get misled by it. So this was in short regarding how to find out whether the post is authentic or not, and what is the percentage. But I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those people who are doing it to spread the deen, see to it that when you want to spread, don't use wrong means for the right goal. When your goal is correct, even the means should be correct. You cannot use wrong means to achieve a correct goal. So it is wrong to use wrong means to achieve a correct goal. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah reward all the Muslims who are trying to spread His message and spread the deen. On the YouTube, we have Miko Paulak, Roman Ahmad, Hamisi Juma, Lubega Ismail, Hamisi Juma, Mr. Neutron, Rifat Hassan, Ahmad Hamid Ashrati, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, Saifullah Wani, Sihabuddin, Muhammad Ahmad, Hamisi Juma, Farad Ismail. I'm just mentioning these names so that they know that there is a team of mine. It's difficult for me to read and select because there are thousands of questions coming, as I said. So it's easier to select the WhatsApp messages which have been sent throughout the week, and we receive about maybe more than 5,000 WhatsApp messages, where there's a team of people reading these messages. From that, they forward me 100 questions. From that, I select about 15 to be answered. And there may be a few questions that there's a team now reading all these questions, and selecting and sending on my mobile. And from that, I decide whether to select. From the selected is easier. So here I'm just reading to let the people know that, okay, you are there live and I'm taking your name. I'm not reading a message. Only I'm reading sometimes the dua, sometimes I love you, sometimes assalamu alaikum. So here we have Istim Ibrahim, assalamu alaikum, Muhammad Ahmad. Then you have Rifat Hassan. You have Santosh, love you Zakir Naik. All these people, they're saying salams and they're wishing me salam. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. And they're doing duas for me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, give you the best. To all the Muslims that have done dua, may Allah give you the best in this world as well as in the akhirah. On the Facebook, you have Muhammadi S, Shogir Hassan, Santosh Vahule, Nabila Faizal, Asif Rasool, Parvez Pathan, Allah Dita Hassan, Shamim Ahmad, Umar Khayam Sifat, Abdul Fatah Raho, Junaid Mullah, Taha Mirza, Malik Wasim, Imtiazur Rahman. Most of them are saying assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. They're doing duas for me. I do duas for you too. The next question. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. I am Shahzeb Gul from Dera Ghazi Khan, Punjab, Pakistan. My father has kidney problem. His one kidney has stopped working and also has stones in the other kidney. MashaAllah, he prays his salah regularly and insists to fast. I always request him not to fast, but he does not listen to me. Finally, he agreed. Whatever Dr. Zakir Naik says, whether to fast or not to fast, he will do the same. Is it permissible for him to not fast, keeping in view that he has 40% of the kidney working? My father is 55 years old. A similar question has been asked. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Shehnaz Khan from Bradford, UK. I am a homemaker. My mother is 65 years old and has severe diabetes. She, mashallah, prays 5 times a day. Even after asking her not to fast, she insists on fasting the complete month of Ramadan. My mother is a fan of yours. Please could you advise her that it is not fard for her to fast as she is not healthy and it is better she does not fast. So there are two questions which are similar. The first question is from brother from Pakistan saying that his father has kidney problem, his one kidney is failed, the second kidney has got stones, and he insists on fasting. And the other question is from Bradford. One of the sisters asked that the mother is 65 years old, she has severe diabetes and she insists on fasting. What can you please explain to her? But naturally there are some rules and conditions for fasting. For a person to fast, he should be a Muslim, number one, should be an adult, should be sane, should be healthy, and if it's a woman, should not be menstruating, should not have prenatal or postnatal. So these few conditions are required. So one of the conditions is that if the person is not healthy, it is not fard for him to fast. So the requirement of the fasting, I've told, should be Muslim, should be adult. If women should not be menstruating or fasting, should be sane. But there are certain exemptions given for fasting. For example, a person is traveling. It's mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Baqarah chapter 2, verse number 185, 185, 6, 187, 188, that if you are traveling, then you need not fast in Ramadan, you can fast later on. Similarly, if you are sick and you cannot do, then you can avoid fasting and fast later on when you get healthy. So as far as the ruling of people who are sick is concerned, if you are sick and you cannot fast, you are allowed to miss the fast which is fard during the month of Ramadan and fast later on when you are healthy. But if you have a health condition which is chronic and it will not at all improve, whether it be chronic kidney disease known as CKD, or maybe severe diabetes mellitus, or maybe terminal illness. So in this case you need not fast, and there can be fidya given. You can feed hungry people. For the full month of Ramadan you can feed 30 people who are poor, and that will compensate for that. Regarding the question asked here, that his father is suffering from a chronic kidney disease, one disease has failed, one of the kidney has failed, has a chronic kidney disease, CKD, and he prays 5 times a day, mashallah, insists on fasting even though his son doesn't want him to. And on the other side you have in UK a sister whose mother is 65 years old, has severe diabetes, and she too insists on fasting. Can I advise her that it's not required for him to fast? The general ruling in both these cases, because the kidney has failed, it means CKD, chronic kidney disease, and severe diabetes, the ruling is that they need not fast. They don't have to fast, and Allah will not question them, and they can feed 30 people for the complete month of Ramadan. But there are some people who, even though they are sick, they may have a higher level of taqwa and they want to fast. Like in traveling. Today traveling is very easy. So though Allah has given the permission that you need not fast during traveling, it's not a fard not to fast. So when I travel, always, the month of Ramadan easy, the whole atmosphere is there. Whether I'm traveling or not, the traveling is so easy. You're traveling in the plane, no problem, or in the train. Unlike the earlier times where you used to travel on a camel in the hot sun, difficult to fast. Here everything is so easy. In fact, if you tell me not to fast and fast later, it will be difficult for me. Fasting in the month of Ramadan is easy, everyone is fasting. If you tell me not to fast and fast on the other day, it's more difficult. So even if you're traveling, whether in a plane or whether in a car or whether in a bus, it's not compulsory you should not fast. But the rukhsa is given. The permission is given even today. Even if the travel is comfortable and you say you don't want to fast, you are permitted not to fast, but you have to compensate for the fast when the conditions are better, when you are not traveling, that is compulsory. So similarly, if people who are sick, depends upon the sickness, the ruling is that the sickness is very mild and then it doesn't disturb your fast, then you should fast. There's no rukhsa for that. But it's a severe illness where it's difficult to fast, then you should not fast. But yet, some people have taqwa and they are strong and they yet want to fast. So what is the solution for that? So there was a survey done. As far as medical is concerned, if you have a mild diabetes, where you're only on a low level of tablets, then you have to fast. it is not sufficient excuse for you not to fast. So if you have mild diabetes, in which you are taking few tablets of a low dosage, you have to fast. You cannot say, I have diabetes, I don't want to fast. No, you cannot. It doesn't happen. As long as you take your tablet regularly, in the morning or in the night, it will not. But if you have moderate diabetes, where you are on high level of oral tablets, or maybe you are taking some insulin of a lower dosage, that's called moderate diabetes, then you are excused for not fasting, but yet, if you want to fast, you can fast. There was a survey done. That amongst the people who have diabetes and who need not fast, and Islam has given permission, and all the schools of thought are unanimous, that if you have a sickness such as moderate or chronic diabetes, you don't have to fast. Or if you have a chronic kidney disease, you don't have to fast. In spite of that, when a survey was done, that 60% of the people who have moderate or severe diabetes, they yet fast the full month of Ramadan. And additional 15% may fast for 15 days or more. That means 75% of the people who have moderate or severe diabetes, though Islam has given them permission not to fast, yet they fast. Whether good or bad, we'll come to it later on. Yet they fast 60% the full month of Ramadan, 15% 15 days and more. So 75% of the people fast for more than half the month of Ramadan, and 60% fast for the full month of Ramadan. Though they have been told not to fast, this shows the passion of the Muslims, the taqwa of the Muslims. So is it right that they fast or not is the question. If you have the capability of fasting and see to it that it is not dangerous for your life. Now that is a very subjective term. If it's not dangerous for your life, it is not detrimental for your life, even though there is ruqsa in Islam that you need not fast and yet you want to fast, can you do it or not? So general ruling, me as a medical doctor, that if you have mild diabetes and if you are on very low dosage of, maybe glucosamine tablet, I feel fasting, you should fast. You don't have excuse not to fast. But if you are on moderate diabetes, talking about diabetes 2, there are two types of diabetes mellitus 1 and diabetes mellitus 2. I'm talking about diabetes mellitus 2, which is mild, or if you're pre-diabetic, that's not an excuse for you not to fast. But if you're moderate diabetes, where you're on high dosage of oral tablets, or if you're taking insulin of a small quantity, then you can fast if you want to fast. You have been given the ruqsa not to fast. But then what you have to do, you have to regularly keep on checking your blood sugar level. And you have to see to it there are not severe bouts of hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia. That sugar goes up or comes down. If there are too many bouts of up and down, it is detrimental for your health. So if you have moderate diabetes, and if you see to it that you take your tablets before the suhoor, early in the morning, and if you have to take twice a day, you can take it after the iftar at night time, and see to it that in between while fasting, you check your blood sugar. It doesn't go too high, doesn't go too low, then it is safe. If you have severe diabetes, where you are on high dosage of insulin, you should not fast. Yet, if you want to fast, you can do it with consultation of your diabetologist. So if there are specialists in diabetes, he will check everything, and if you insist, I want to see to it that you consult a diabetologist. Generally the answer is no, you should not fast. It is not Islamically correct. If your life is in danger, you have to fast, it is incorrect. But if you have an expert in diabetes, and if he comes and he tells you that, okay, fine, I'll monitor it and this and that. So the general ruling is that you need not have to fast. Islam has given you the ruqsa. But it is know that I have taqwa and to fast, and I know very well that a normal human being, an adult human being, requires 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm a medical doctor. Average sleep required for a human being is 8 hours a day. If you sleep 7 hours, acceptable. If you sleep up to 9 hours, acceptable. Anything above 9 hours is excessive sleep. Anything below 7 hours is less sleep. And medical science tells us today that if you sleep less than 6 hours, then 0.01% of the people can function normally. Means if you sleep less than 6 hours, or if you sleep for 6 hours or less, or 6 hours, not less, 7 to 9 hours is normal. If you sleep for 6 hours, then 0.01% means 1 in 10,000 people can function normally. Now I am a medical doctor, I know this, and I've said this several times before. I on average sleep 3 to 3 hours a day on average. Sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 3.5 hours, sometimes 4.5 hours. On average, I sleep about 3 to 3.5 hours a day. And this I'm doing since several years. You know, I used to sleep in the medical college maybe for about 4 to 5 hours. And got involved in the field of dawah, it became less. It became 3 hours and then became 3.5 hours. And I came to Malaysia for the first 1 or 2 years, maybe I slept for 1 hour more, but again I went back. On average, I've been sleeping 3 to 3.5 hours on average for the last many decades. Maybe for the last 30 years. Medically, it's abnormal. Medically, it's abnormal. If you ask me, how many people in the world can sleep for 3 and 3.5 hours and function normally? The answer would be maybe 1 in 10 million, 0.0001%. Or if you say 1 in 10, I'm just saying a figure which is safe. It can be more. 1 in 10 million means there are 8 billion people alive. Correct? 1 in 10 million means there will hardly be about 800 people. 800 people, if I say 1 in 10 million, means there are 8 billion people, we'll have 8,000 million. So if 1 in 10 million means there will be 800 people in the world who can do it. It may be 1 in 20 million with the phone, I don't know, but surely the number is small. And I'm aware that most of the celebrities, whether they do good or bad, it may be Islamic or un-Islamic, they sleep less. Not all, but most of the celebrities who are maybe a very famous actor or maybe a very famous, whatever it is, not all, but there are many who sleep less and Allah has gifted them. So as far as I know, and my wife keeps on telling me, you should sleep more, and she quotes verses of the Quran that saying that, Allah has made night for you to rest. And then I quote the other verse of the Quran that blessed are those people who sacrifice their bed for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So but generally, yes. Generally, as a medical doctor, 7 hours minimum is required. So I tell my son, okay, fine, 7 hours you should. So I don't force him that, why don't you sleep I'm sleeping 3 hours, you sleep for 5 hours. I don't tell him that. I'm a doctor, I know that, yes, if he sleeps more than 8, I may say, okay, 7, 8 is also okay. He sleeps for about 6.5 or 7 hours. Average 7 hours he sleeps, sometimes 6.5. I don't force him that I'm sleeping for 3 hours, I'm young, I'm so old, I'm 58 years old, you're only 29 years old, you're half my age, so you should sleep less than me. No. Medically, for an adult, the average sleep required for a human being is 8 hours. It can vary between 7 to 9 hours. Anything below 7 is abnormal, and below 6 is more abnormal. And we know that our beloved Prophet Muhammad, when we read his seerah, even he slept less number of hours. We don't have the exact number in any of the hadith, but when you calculate that he spent sometimes half the night, more than 1/3 night, sometimes 2/3 night, and you calculate, it will surely be somewhere close to between, there's no calculation done, but would be 3 to 5 hours. It will cannot be more than 5 hours at all. Most probably would be somewhere close to 4 hours, but there is no authentic narration how many hours he slept. But what we know from his practice, and we calculate the summertime and the winter time, and what time the Isha is and the Fajar is, and how much he prayed, etc., we get a rough idea that he might have slept for somewhere close to between 3 to 5 hours, but average maybe somewhere close to 4 hours. So similarly, if you can do it, fine. If you cannot do it, you should not. So this is the guideline that if you are sick and if you're going to cause a problem for you to fast, you should not fast. Now coming to the first question of the CKD, chronic kidney disease. Now for chronic kidney disease, as a policy, it is high risk and very high risk to fast. General statement. But you may be in CKD, chronic kidney disease stage 3, where you can fast with monitoring. Maybe you have to test your levels and see to it that the plasma creatinine doesn't go more than 30% above the base level, and you see to it that you keep on measuring your weight, and they should not be increased of more than 2 kilos in a span of couple of days. You can take precaution that when you break your fast, there should be more potassium in your diet. See to it that you have excessive water. So these precautions you can fast, you need not. Islam has given you rukhsah, has given you the permission. If you have chronic kidney disease, you don't have to fast. But yet if you insist on fasting, saying that I have the capacity and Allah will help me, so you have to monitor it. And if you have really renal failure, etc., you cannot do without a medical renal team. So if you have mild stage 1, stage 2, okay. But if you have a high stage of CKD, chronic kidney disease, unless you don't have a renal team, it is very dangerous. Please don't do it. So if you want to try it and you said that I have the taqwa, you should have a renal team, you go to a nephrologist. A nephrologist is a specialist on kidney, and take it advice. He will tell you, do this test. Please don't go on my answer, please. The answer I'm giving you cannot say, okay, now Dr. Zakir Naik has said that if I have chronic kidney disease of stage 3, I will test my plasma level, I'll have more water after iftar, I'll have more potassium. Please don't. This is not at all. I'm just giving you guidelines. So don't use my answer as an answer to say that because Dr. Zakir Naik said I will fast. Please don't. The ruling in Islam is you have been excused. So if you have diabetes of moderate level or severe level, you have been excused. Moderate, if you try, you can try it, moderate level of diabetes, by taking precautions and having a blood test. If you are severe, then you have to consult a diabetologist. Same thing with CKD, chronic kidney disease. If it is very low stage, okay, you can, but in chronic kidney disease, at all stages, it is high risk. So see to it you consult your nephrologist. This answer of mine was to tell you that if you have the passion, if you have the taqwa, yet you have to take precautions. You cannot say that I have the taqwa and then if something happens to you, then it is haram on you. You cannot say I'll jump and Allah will save me. It is suicide. So without taking proper precautions, you say I will fast and you insist I'll not break my fast, it is haram in Islam. If you know your blood sugar is going up and down, you have to break it. Oh, no, another 2 hours are there, I've got strength. If you're having severe diabetes, then the blood sugar starts going up and down. Hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia. It is further on you to break your fast. If you don't, it's haram. It will be considered nothing like suicide. It will be suicide. So let me make it very clear. So if you have that passion that no, I'm sick and I don't do fast, take your precaution, follow the rules of the Sharia. That have all the team, have the specialist give you advice, keep on checking, something fluctuates, be prepared to break. If you are not prepared to break, then it's haram. Same thing with the kidney. There are people, there are researches done, even on people, those who have got chronic kidney disease. And there are chronic kidney disease researches that they took a group of 70 people who had the disease, who fasted, and 70 didn't have disease, and there's no difference in both of them. Of course, they are at a lower stage. So, of course, a lot of taqwa is required. So there is a there is a medical organization called as for patients of chronic kidney disease and diabetes mellitus, especially advising them in the month of Ramadan. There's a Muslim organization, you can Google it and find it. So you can surely take the help. They're specialized in advising Muslims during the month of Ramadan whether you should fast or not and what care you can take. So the general answer is that if you fall in the chronic stage of diabetes or of chronic kidney disease, please don't fast. Yet if you want to, then you can only do it with the advice of a specialist, as the Quran says in Surah An-Nahl chapter 16 verse 43 and Surah Anbiya chapter 21 verse number 7, Fasalu ahle zikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. If you don't know, ask the person who's a specialist. Without that, please don't go on my answer and say that, oh, I've heard Dr. Zakir Naik saying he's given me the green signal. No, I'm not giving you a green signal. I'm just telling you that the rules of how you decipher whether it's permitted or not. General ruling is that if you don't fast, you are forgiven. Allah will not hold you responsible. But yet if you want to, take the precautions, and if the specialist give you permission, you can go ahead, otherwise don't. Hope that answers the question for both the patient who has a chronic kidney disease as well as the person who has got severe diabetes mellitus. Jazakallah shukr. There is a question. There's a question that came to me on the WhatsApp, and he says, I'm a Hindu and I'm from Nepal. I'm watching your videos since long time and I'm interested in Islam, but I want to read the Quran in my language, Nepali. I don't have the Quran and I'm in Poland right now. Do you have any Nepali translation of the Quran? Please, if you have, then deliver to me in Poland. I will give you all my addresses and money as well. I've seen so many videos in YouTube and I am fully convinced, so I want to take Shahada from you, Zakir Naik. How will you give me? I think it's better to call me for Shahada. When I read this question that was selected by me, by my team in the morning, I told my son to contact this number that has been given in this message and speak to him, and my son Farik spoke and he got this message that my full name is Binod Pariyar. I'm from Nepal and I'm currently working in Poland. I was a Hindu and I have studied Islam since 2 years from the video of Dr. Zakir Naik. And I told my son, and I told him I gave him a time of 12:15, and he's there on the WhatsApp message. And he's there on the laptop of my son, and I wish to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There's a question that came to me on the WhatsApp. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And I'm from Nepal. He is Binod. I'm watching your videos since long time, and I'm interested in Islam, but I want to read the Quran in my language, Nepali. I don't have the Quran, and I'm in Poland right now. Put the audio off, please. Do you have any Nepali translation of the Quran? Please, if you have, then deliver to me in Poland. I will give you all my addresses and money as well. I've seen so many videos in YouTube and put the audio off. Put the audio off now. So I want to take Shahada from you, Zakir Naik. How will you give me? I think it's better to call me for Shahada. When I read this, put the audio off. Here you have to understand that what I'm saying, it is being recorded on the camera, going through the internet to Dubai, and from Dubai it is going onto the Peace TV, and then coming live on the Peace TV, coming live on the Facebook, coming live on the YouTube. So generally there is a delay by the time I say something, and if I have a YouTube here, the same thing I'll hear maybe a minute later, sometimes 30 seconds later, sometime 1.5 minutes later. So they cannot be a live up and down, but can be on the call. So what I'll do, that Binod is there, he's on the call? Yes. The WhatsApp call. So instead of the YouTube, we have taken the WhatsApp also. So WhatsApp you can hear directly, but through the camera, going to Dubai, through the net, then from there going on to the Peace TV or the Facebook or the YouTube, there is a delay. It may be 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute, maybe 1.5 minutes. So here we have Binod, and this is a WhatsApp call. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you increase the volume now? Yes. Oh, I see. Actually, I told him to put the volume down, but I'll increase the volume and I'll ask. Make it. I'll tell him.
Hello.
Binod, can you please reduce your volume of YouTube?
The audio.
If you can put the audio off.
What I'm saying.
If you can put the audio off of your YouTube,
The camera
so that we can talk only on the WhatsApp.
through the internet to Dubai.
Can you put the video audio off of your YouTube?
And then coming live on the Peace TV.
Can you put the audio off, please?
Coming live on the YouTube. So generally,
Can you put the audio off of your YouTube?
And if I have a YouTube here, the same thing I'll hear maybe a minute later. Sometimes 30 seconds later, sometimes 1.5 minutes later. So they cannot be a live up and down, but can be on the call. So what I'll do, that Binod is there, is on the call, the WhatsApp call. So instead of the YouTube, we have taken the WhatsApp also. So WhatsApp you can hear directly, but through the camera.
Binod, can you put the audio off?
Through the net.
Binod, can you put the audio off of your YouTube or Facebook, whatever you're watching?
The Facebook or the YouTube, there is a delay. It may be
Can you put your audio off, please?
1.5 minutes. So here we have Binod and this is a WhatsApp call. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you give the volume? Yes. I see. Actually, I told him to put the volume down, but I'll increase the volume and I'll ask.
Brother Binod, can you put the volume off of your YouTube or Facebook? Can you hear me, Brother Binod?
Can you please reduce your volume of YouTube?
Can you put the audio off?
Yes,
If you can put the audio off of your YouTube, so that we can talk only on the WhatsApp through the internet to Dubai. Can you put the audio off of your YouTube? And then coming live on the Peace TV. Can you put the audio off, please? Coming live on the YouTube. So generally, can you put the audio off of your YouTube? And if I have a YouTube here, the same thing I'll hear maybe a minute later. Sometimes 30 seconds.
Can you put your audio off of the YouTube or Facebook, whatever you're hearing on?
But can't be on the call. What I'll do, that Binod is there, is on the call, the WhatsApp call. So instead of the YouTube, we have taken the WhatsApp also.
Now people may have realized that why don't we have live calls on the YouTube, on social media. You can have live calls on the phone.
Of your YouTube or Facebook, whatever you're watching.
He cannot repeat, no, there's audio, he'll not be able to hear.
Can you put your audio off, please?
Ask him to put it off now, Farid.
Binod, and this is the WhatsApp call.
Can you listen?
आप अपना ऑडियो ऑफ कर सकते जरा आपका ऑडियो जो है यूट्यूब का फेसबुक का ऑफ कर सकते
Can you give the volume?
आपका वॉल्यूम बंद कीजिए
Actually, I told him to put the volume down, but I'll increase the volume.
Okay.
कैन यू पुट द वॉल्यूम ऑफ
Put the volume off of your YouTube or Facebook.
Is,
Can you hear me, Brother Vinod? Please reduce your volume of YouTube. Can you put the audio off?
mic or volume?
Can you put the audio off of your YouTube, the camera, so that we can talk?
आपका यूट्यूब बंद कीजिए जस्ट ऑफ योर वीडियो एंड यू कैन टॉक ओनली ऑन द व्हाट्सएप
Can you put the audio off of your YouTube?
Okay, okay.
And then coming live.
वील टॉक ओनली ऑन द व्हाट्सएप
Put the audio off, please.
Okay, okay.
On the YouTube. So generally, can you put the audio off of your say something YouTube? And if I have a YouTube here, the same thing I'll hear maybe a minute later. Sometimes 30 seconds. Can you put your audio off of the YouTube or Facebook, whatever you're hearing on? What I'll do, the Binod is there, he's on the call, the WhatsApp call. So instead of the YouTube, we have taken the WhatsApp also. Now people may have realized that why don't we have live calls on the YouTube, on social media. You can have live calls on the phone. YouTube or Facebook, whatever you're watching. He cannot repeat, no, there's audio, he'll not be able to hear. Can you put your audio off, please? Ask him to put it off now, Farid. This is the WhatsApp call.
Can you listen?
आप अपना ऑडियो ऑफ कर सकते जरा आपका ऑडियो जो है यूट्यूब का फेसबुक ऑफ कर सकते हैं
आपका वॉल्यूम बंद कीजिए
वॉल्यूम बटन show it to me which what how to put it off just show it to me na F1 and F2 okay Vinod off हो गया which is to increase F3 गलत बोल रहे थे can you hear me Vinod
Yes, yes, I'm hearing you.
can you okay can you put your video can I see your video your camera okay I'll just say the Shada can you hear me
Yes, yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, I'll just say the Shahada, you can repeat it, okay?
Okay.
I'm just facing on the camera.
Have live
Ashhadu
on the YouTube also. Wherever
Allah ilaha illallah wa ashhadu
وأشهد
anna
أن
Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu.
ورسول
I bear witness
I bear witness
that
that
there is no God
there is no God
but Allah,
but Allah,
and I bear witness
and I bear witness
that
that
Prophet Muhammad
Muhammad
is the messenger
is the messenger
and servant of Allah.
and servant of Allah.
MashaAllah, you have become a Muslim, and I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may He grant you the best in this world as well as in the hereafter. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may He, through you, let other people come to Islam.
video. Can I see your video?
And
The camera?
Give my name as well.
your name, yes.
Can you hear me?
I would, if you want a name for yourself,
I'll just say the Shahada, can repeat it.
your name was Binod, so I would suggest that you can call yourself Umar. Umar, yes. Umar was the name
Ilaha
of the second Caliph of Islam.
illallah
And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the best in this world and the akhirah.
anna
And since you said you have been seeing my videos for 2 years, that is the reason I didn't ask you that, do you believe in one God or not? I know that you believe because I've been seeing my videos. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that inshallah I will see to it that I will get a translation of Nepali, the translation of the Quran in Nepali, and inshallah send it to you directly. So you can expect in maybe a few days or a few weeks inshallah.
Prophet Muhammad,
I will just ask my son to deliver a copy
the messenger
of the translation of the Quran in Nepali to you inshallah.
of Allah.
So in the next few days or a couple of weeks you'll get it inshallah.
MashaAllah, you become
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ta'ala, that we grant you the best in this world as well as in the hereafter.
This was the first time that we tried it on the WhatsApp, because since we are live on the satellite and on the YouTube and the Facebook, we can take audio calls, but again audio calls will be repetition, therefore we don't really, it will be similar to live session that we have, and we prefer having different questions rather than repeating the question. In a live call, they may repeat similar question, it would be somewhat like having a live session. So we prefer having questions asked on the Facebook or on the YouTube, on WhatsApp message, so we can select those questions which have not been asked before. That's the reason when my team sends me a question, they may not be aware that this question has been answered by me earlier, answered by me already before, maybe a month before or 2 months before, a year before, 2 years before. That is the reason when they send me a question, it may be a good question, but because I've answered, I don't want to repeat the answer so that people have more information rather than repeating what I've already said earlier. So this was, mashallah, Binod Pariyar from Nepal, and he's staying in Poland, and he's been watching my video for the past, mashallah, 2 years, and we received several such messages on the WhatsApp that they want to give Shahada. So what we do, we call directly and we finish it off rather than having it on the session, because I know that there will be a lot of time consumption, but this time we thought that we will have it live, and you could see that there is a little bit of time delay, but it was good to break the monotony and have a live Shahada. Like how normally when we have live sessions, there are many people willing to come to the fold of Islam. So similar in the live session also we have, but we can't show them on the channel. So this time we had a WhatsApp call, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept his effort, and may Allah give him the best in this world and the akhirah, and may Allah forgive all his fault, and may Allah give him Jannat al-Firdaus. Ameen. There's a question from the YouTube. ABCDAVV. Hello. Is it haram to pray sunnah in the same place where you pray the fard prayer? The question poses that is it haram to pray sunnah in the same place where we have prayed fard? What the Prophet said, that immediately when you finish your fard salah, if you want to pray sunnah, then you pray in a different place so that you can differentiate between the two salah. If you have finished your fard salah and you immediately want to pray sunnah, then you shift your place so that you can differentiate between the two salahs. But if you prayed your fard, then after the fard you have done dua and have spent about 5-6 minutes in dua, and then if you want to pray sunnah, there is no problem at all. You can pray in the same place where you prayed your fard. Only if you want to pray immediately, it is recommended by the Prophet that you pray in a different place so that you can differentiate between the fard and the sunnah salah. There is another message that has just come on the YouTube. It's a photo of one of the posts. Information, urgent, important notice to all Muslims from Dr. Zakir Naik. Warning, a new version of Quran has been released on Google Play Store. The name of this application is the Holy Quran in Arabic text and English translation, translated by Maulvi Sher Ali. Please make Muslims aware not to buy or download this application. All Muslims are requested to perform the duty by sharing it. Please share this information as much as you can. Why are you waiting? Send now! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Copied. Again, this information is not from me. I have not published any such post. But I'm aware that this is circulating again in the social media since many years. And since we have a large collection of various English translations of the Quran, we have this copy of the translation of the Quran by Maulvi Sher Ali. And I'm aware that this translation is by the Ahmadis. Ahmadis is a sect of the Qadianis. And they believe that Ahmad Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is a Nabi who came after the Prophet, and there's a big history of it. But this is not the mainstream Muslim. They don't belong to Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. They are Qadianis, the Ahmadi sect. So this translation of Maulvi Sher Ali is by an Ahmadi. So of course, we Muslims should be careful about it. So the information that we have to be careful and should not read it, should not spread it, is correct. But this was not circulated by me. This message is not from me. So it falls under that category that this information is correct, but I didn't draft it. The warning is correct, and we should not read it, should not spread it, because it's not a translation from the Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. It is by a Qadiani, it is by Ahmadi, which is not on the Quran and Sunnah. So the information is correct. There is a Nono Fort Tangtung from YouTube. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Dr. Zakir Naik, is it haram to live with your non-Muslim girlfriend even if you don't do haram things? The question poses that is it haram to live with a non-Muslim girlfriend even if you don't do haram things? Living with a non-Muslim girlfriend itself is haram. So you're asking me the question that is it haram to live with a non-Muslim girlfriend if you don't do haram things? It is like you telling me that is it permissible for me to drink alcohol and then not do haram things? You understand? Is it permissible to drink alcohol? But after drinking alcohol, I will not do any haram thing. So is it allowed for me to drink alcohol? And the answer is no. Drinking alcohol itself is wrong. So you ask me the question, can I live with a non-Muslim girlfriend? Living with a nahmehram in Islam is haram. And then you will not do haram things, that's another thing. So it's like you asking me, can I drink alcohol? And after drinking alcohol, I will not do haram things. So is it allowed for me to drink alcohol if I don't do haram things after drinking alcohol? And the answer is no, it's haram. Because drinking alcohol itself is haram. And after drinking, you may do something else, is secondary. After drinking alcohol, you may do zina, you may gamble, that's secondary. But drinking alcohol itself is gunah kabira. So similarly, staying with a non-Muslim girl, friend, who's a non-mahram, she's not your wife, she's not your sister, she's not your mother, she's a non-mahram to you. So staying with her itself is haram. Whether after that you do haram, whether you do zina with her or not after that, or that is secondary. But staying with a non-mahram girlfriend itself is haram. Whether after that you do haram or not, that is secondary. Question asked by Miftal. Assalamu alaikum. Can a man do exercise shirtless in a public gym? Can a man do exercise topless or shirtless in a public gym? As far as the satar of the male is concerned for a Muslim man, it's from the navel to the knee. There are different opinion whether the knee is included or not, but the right opinion is, different opinion, I mean the Shafi madhab and Hanafi madhab, that is the knee included or not. But preferable is that you include the knee also. So the question is, if he is shirtless, as long as is from the navel bottom is covered, it is permitted. General ruling. General ruling. So if you are shirtless without a top, as long as from your navel downwards below the knee is covered, it is permitted. But you said a public gym. So if you know that it's a public gym, and if it's a gym where male and female are together, and then if you think it will create a fitna, by law it's permitted. But it can come in the makruh category if you think it's going to create a fitna, that if it's a gym where both the sexes are there, and if you are somebody watching you, and if you want to create a fitna, so it can come. Generally it's permitted. But because you said public gym means in the open place, and whether if it's only male, then no problem at all. If it's female and depending on the other situation, etc. But generally, yes, being topless in a public area for a male is permitted because his satar is from the navel to the knee. The question posed by Jadson, Ray of Hope, is learning science and mathematics haram in Islam? The general ruling for learning science and mathematics in Islam, it is mubah, it's optional. But if the science and mathematics will get you closer to Islam, then it becomes mustahab, means encouraged. But generally, learning science and Islam, learning science and mathematics, it is mubah, it's optional. But if learning science and mathematics may get you a good living, so that you can earn good for your family, so that becomes mustahab. Mustahab means encouraged. If learning science and mathematics gets you closer to Allah, it becomes mustahab, means encouraged. If that science and mathematics gets you a good job, so that you can feed your family well, it becomes mustahab. If that science and mathematics takes you away from Islam, then if it's going to cause loss to you, it becomes makruh. It can even come under the haram category. But generally, learning science and mathematics, it's mubah or mustahab. General mathematics and science that you learn in the school, It will either fall in the mubah category or may come in the mustab category, because it will help you to earn your living. It may get you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like Allah says, Sanurim ayatina fil afaqi wa fi anfusihim. In Surah Fussilat chapter 41, verse number 53, that soon we shall show you our signs in the further regions of the horizons. So when you study science and you understand the Quran better and you know your Lord better, it will come in the mustab category. If you study science and you study mathematics, it lets you earn a halal living so that you can feed your family. It comes in the mustab category, encouraged category. If it's not doing anything, then it comes under the mubah category, that is, it is permissible, it's optional. Hope that answers the question. The next question. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Hassanur Jaman Mandal from West Bengal, India. It's mentioned in the Quran in Surah Qiyamah, chapter 75, verse number 8, that on the day of judgment the moon will be unlighted. Though I don't know the actual meaning, just I got from somewhere. But now we see that the moon is unlighted. That what does it mean? If the above mentioned meaning becomes true, then isn't it a contradiction? What the Hassan Noor has quoted is a verse from the Quran from Surah Qiyamah, chapter 75, verse number 8, talking about وَقَصَفَ الْقَمَرِ. وَقَصَفَ الْقَمَرِ means when the moon is buried in darkness. It also means that when the moon it becomes darkened. Or some of the translations say when the moon is eclipsed. So وَقَصَفَ الْقَمَرِ means when the moon is buried in darkness or when the moon is eclipsed. For the real context, if you read from Surah Qiyamah, from verse number 1, we come to know that it's talking about Qiyamah, the day of resurrection. And the non-Muslims, when they ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they ask the believers, how will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be able to reconstruct our bones? Because after we have been buried and all our bones have been disintegrated, how will Allah be able to reconstruct our bones on the day of judgment? So Allah replies in the Quran, talking verse 1, 2, 3, 4, that we can not only reconstruct the bones, we can reconstruct the very tips of your finger. This is in context. So on the day of judgment, when the unbelievers say, how will Allah be able to reconstruct our bones? So Allah says, not only the bones, we can reconstruct the very tips of your finger. So what does Allah mean by saying we can reconstruct the very tips of your finger? After science advanced in 1880, Sir Francis Galt had discovered the fingerprinting method. And he said that no two fingerprints, even in 1 million people, are identical. That means the tips of the finger have got fingerprints. And these fingerprints differ between all the individual human beings. Even in 1 million people, no two fingerprints will match exactly. So today, the police, the CID, the CIA, they use the fingerprinting method to identify the criminal or the robber, or if any theft has taken place. In identification, fingerprint is used. Now we use it for opening a lock. Put the fingerprint, the lock opens. So Allah says, on the day of judgment, leave aside the bones after they have been disintegrated. I can even reconstruct in perfect order the very tips of the finger. Then verse number 5, 6 asks that, do you know what is Qiyamah? Or when will Qiyamah come? And the reply is there, when the sight is dazed and when the moon is buried in darkness. Verse number 8 in Surah Qiyamah. Verse number 6 says, when is Qiyamah? When the sight is dazed and when the moon is buried in darkness, or when the moon is eclipsed. And verse number 9 says, when the sun and moon will join. So this is the description of the day of resurrection. Now coming to your question, if on the day of resurrection the moon will get darkened, sometime the moon get darkened now also. If you're talking about eclipse, moon get eclipsed now also. So isn't there a contradiction? There's no contradiction at all. What the Quran is talking about, what will happen. And one of the things is, the moon will be buried in darkness. Or the moon is eclipsed. But that's not the only thing. The other thing, the sun and the moon will join. So that's the reason if there is an eclipse, the Prophet told us to read Salah. Salah through Khusuf. That when the eclipse is there, whether lunar or whether solar, you have to read the 2 rakah Salah. It's Sunnah. It is Mustahab. When the sun becomes dark, when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. The moon becomes dark when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. And the sun becomes dark when the moon comes in between the earth and the sun. So here when the moon is eclipsed is talking about the lunar eclipse. That the earth comes in between and that happens once in a year, once in few years. That's the reason the Prophet told us to pray it, because we fear that these are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The moon getting eclipsed is a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So giving you a glimpse that finally, we have to die. We have to be accountable on the day of judgment. So there's no contradiction at all. So many a times there are similes giving you a taste of it, that was going to happen. But we don't see the moon and sun join now. This joining of the moon and sun will only take place in Qiyamah, not now. Certain indications are there which you have a taste of it. But the complete description in the Quran, and the Quran continues, what is Qiyamah, etc. All the descriptions are given. How will a person feel, etc. So that is complete. So this is talking about the Qiyamah. It's giving you signs of it. And there's no contradiction at all. And this is exactly what will happen on the day of resurrection, on the day of Qiyamah. I hope that answers the question. There's a question from YouTube from Rafi Hussain. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dr. Zakir, would you like to speak a few words about Allama Dilawar Hussain Saidi, who passed away recently in the jail of the Munafiqs? He was most popular Dai of Bangladesh. Yes, I am aware of Allama Dilawar Hussain Saidi, Inna lillahi inna rajiun. And I got the information a few days earlier that he passed away. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannat al-Firdaus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raise his level to the highest level of Jannah. And I'm aware that he was one of the popular Dais of Bangladesh. And I'm aware that he was arrested many years ago. And he was first given the verdict of to be hanged, and then later there was protest in which many people died. So they changed the verdict from hanging, giving him punishment of death, to life imprisonment. And there are many people in many parts of the world, unfortunately, many Muslim countries, that the religious people are being arrested, for political reasons. And one of them was Allama Dilawar Hussain Saidi. And a couple of weeks earlier, his son had come to meet me. He had come earlier also in Malaysia, but a couple of weeks earlier, he had come to meet me and he gave the translation of his father that he had done in Bengali, his book. And I told him to convey my salams to him when he meets him. And unfortunately, this happened a few weeks earlier, and we heard that he has expired. And it's happening that now we see that there are many of the great du'ats and great scholars, they're passing away, and it's a loss to the Muslim Ummah. And we know that he had done great work in spreading the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may He give him the highest level in Jannah, and may He give him a place close to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Anbiyas and the Khulafa Rashidin and the Sahabas. Ameen. There's a question asked. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This question asked on the WhatsApp. My name is Trina. I am from Bangladesh. Is there any place, book, site, course where you have stored your vast knowledge? I want to get a copy of your memory. I am going to gather all your books and going to get a subscription of Al-Hidayah inshallah to enrich myself as a Muslim, hoping that you have put all your knowledge and studies in this Dawah training program. A similar question was posed on the YouTube from a brother in Ethiopia. Sorry, it's not from Ethiopia. This is Musjiso Dusho. From Musjiso Dusho. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Zakir. My name is Abdi Mahat from Somalia. I want all your debates from beginning until now. So where can I get them? The question posed on the WhatsApp and the question posed on the YouTube is similar, that where can they get all my material, my lectures, my talks, my debates, my question answer session, my books, etc. And the question on the WhatsApp was, they want my memory. They can't get my memory, but they can surely get my talks, my lectures, my debates, my interviews, as well as my question answer session. The best platform where all of these videos are available is the Al-Hidayah platform. As far as the videos are concerned, of my lectures, of my question answer session, of my interviews, of my courses, of my all the sessions that are happening, Al Dr. Zakir, the Dare to Ask, all these, majority in one place. It's available on the YouTube, it's there on the Facebook, but difficult to gather them all and searching, etc. The best platform is Al-Hidayah platform. And the Al-Hidayah platform has got three levels. The basic level, which is the 240p. This basic of 240p is free for everyone. If you want the higher version, that is the 540p, or the premium version, which is the high definition, or 2K or 4K, then there is a subscription fee for that. But for the entry level, for 240p, it's free for everyone. So Al-Hidayah platform is a good platform for you to have all the videos of mine, whether lecture, debate, TV talks, and it's very well classified. When in YouTube it's difficult. You go on my YouTube channel, you can see the videos, but it's difficult to classify. On this, it's classified whether it's a debate, whether it's a lecture, whether it's a question and session, whether it's a topic on science, whether it's on Tawheed. It's classified, and searching is very easy. So hundreds of my lectures are there. Thousands of my hours of video are there in this. And if you want the text of my lectures and question and answer session, most of them are available on my website, zakirnaik.com. So if you type zakirnaik.com, you'll go to my website. And in the website section, if you go to the section of lectures, you'll find the scripts of all my lectures there. If you go to the section of question answers, the script of all my question answers is there. So if you want the written script verbatim, you will find it on my website, zakirnaik.com. If you want the videos, you'll find in Al-Hidayah, even the courses. And there's a course called a Dawah Training Program. It is voluminous. It is huge. It's supposed to be in 140 parts, out of which we just started. And we release one part a month. Each part is for about 1.5 or 2 hours, 3 hours. So every month we'll release one part because of the limited resources that we have in editing and checking. Because of my time schedule is busy. So we release one course every month. So far I think there are 10 courses already released on the Al-Hidayah platform. And these courses also have study guides. So if you see these courses, advantages besides the videos, there are transcripts available of my speeches, of my question and session, and there are study guides. The study guide, what does it do? It has the gist of the full talk, but very well designed. Maybe generally of the other speakers, it may have maybe 50% or 33% to 50% of the content in a study guide, so that it's attractive and very well designed. And the script has all details, the word verbatim. But the study guide is made more attractive by graphics and by photographs and the main material of the speech. So the best platform is Al-Hidayah as well as my website, zakirnaik.com. There's a question on the YouTube. Seeker. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Soban Javed from Pakistan. If the price of a thing is 2,000, but on installment it is 3,000, is it halal? If the normal price of any article, any item is 2,000, and you pay an installment every month or every alternate month or for every month for 1 year or 2 years, and the price becomes 50% more, from 2,000 it becomes 3,000. Is it permitted? No, it's not permitted. It is riba. Anything excess is riba. So even if you take 1 rupee more, whether it be 1,000 rupee, if you are taking extra money because you are paying it late or a delayed payment or an installment, it is riba and this is haram. And Allah clearly states in the Quran, in Surah Baqarah chapter 2, verse number 278 to 279, that if you give up not the demands of riba, then take notice of a war from Allah and His Rasul. If you deal in riba, whether give or take, Allah and His Rasul will wage a war against you. And which human being has the guts to fight with Allah and His Rasul? So this type of transaction is haram. There is a question from the YouTube. Muhammad Junaid. Salam Dr. Zakir Naik. What is your opinion on Dr. Israr Ahmad's ijtihad on the efforts of Iqamat-e-Din? In fact, I will not be able to answer this question, not because I don't want to comment. I have just been requested by the son of Dr. Israr Ahmed, whose name is Asif Hamid, that I should give a recording of about 10 to 15 minutes. On the 27th of August, they are going to have the 50 years of Dr. Israr Ahmed's revival of the returning to the Quran. You know, they're going to have a function on the 27th of August in Lahore in Pakistan, where many of the renowned duats and scholars and Islamic personalities will be coming, and they requested a video from me, and it's on the same topic. So inshallah I'll be recording and sending a video. So if you want to watch, you can surely I think they may be relaying it online also, and it's available also to visit physically. It's in Lahore, Pakistan. So surely you can wait, or maybe after I give in the video I will release it so you can hear it after that. But as you know that, alhamdulillah, I was inspired, besides Sheikh Ahmed Didat, the second person who was my inspiration was Dr. Israr Ahmed. And inshallah I'll give the message on the recording, which will be telecast inshallah on the 27th of August in Lahore in Pakistan. The next question. I am working in a non-Muslim restaurant, but the food is halal. Sometimes they do puja at their homes and bring water and sprinkle at us. They said, do bad eyes. Is this permissible for a Muslim to allow them to sprinkle that water at us? Please revert. So the question posed by a Muslim that is working in a non-Muslim restaurant, and the food in that restaurant is halal, but the owners, many a time they do puja at their home, and they come and they sprinkle water on the staff, including him, so that he wants to ward off the evil eye or the bad eyes. So is it permissible for a Muslim to allow someone to sprinkle water which is of puja? And the answer is no. It is not allowed for you to allow a non-Muslim to get some water of puja, which is a Hindu ritual that they do. It's a form of worship that they do, and that water they sprinkle so that it wards away the evil eye or the bad eyes. This is not permitted in Islam, it's haram. You have to tell your boss very well that I'm a Muslim, I don't believe in you getting puja water and sprinkling on me. This is superstition, it's not allowed in my religion. And you should not allow him to sprinkle water on you. If he yet forces and insists, you have to give him warning that if you do this, I'll leave the job. And if he does that, you leave the job. If he's forcing on you something which is haram, if you request him and he stops it, no problem. You have to be bold, but be courteous. Be very soft. Tell them nicely that I'm a Muslim, and in my religion, it's not permitted that you get some puja water or water you have put on some other deity and you sprinkle it on me thinking that I'll be safe from the evil eye or the harm that is done. This is against my faith. I will not allow it. And if he insists being a boss and he forces on you, then you have to leave the job and search for another job. Hope that answers the question. This will be the last question before we end the session. My name is Umar. I'm from Manchester, England, and I am a business owner. I hope you are doing well. Yes, alhamdulillah. May Allah reward you for all your efforts. My question is, when will we see Dr. Zakir Naik in the UK or Europe or in the Western world? It is such a shame that the Ummah in this part of the world is missing out on seeing Dr. Zakir Naik live in person. We have many amazing sheikhs and dais coming from all over the world. Recently, I was at an event with Mufti Menk and Umar Suleiman, and they sold over 10,000 tickets for one show. It was the biggest gathering we have seen here in UK for an Islamic event. I believe if Dr. Zakir Naik came, we can sell out stadiums of 50,000 plus. Is there any update on whether we will see you live in UK or the Western world? Jazakallah khair. As far as me coming and giving a live lecture in UK or the Western world, Allahu Alam. I remember last that I was there in UK was in 2009. And I remember that the largest gathering I addressed in UK was in 2005 or 2006, I'm not sure. It was the GPU. It was a conference held in the Excel conference in London, UK. And mashallah, there was a gathering, it was a 2-day conference, and there was a gathering of 25,000 people at one time. So that's the largest gathering that I'm aware of in UK. You are aware of a gathering of 10,000, mashallah. But the gathering that I attended in 2005 in London, UK, and I remember that they had charged, there were many speakers. I was the main speaker in the ending, and they said if you want to sit next to Dr. Zakir Naik, you have to pay 200 pounds. I remember that. I'm personally against taking fees for entry, and there's a policy of mine that only the first couple of years of my dawah, maybe in the 90s, the late 90s and starting of 2000, and after that I made it a policy that when I give a lecture, you cannot charge any money. But during conferences, I could not insist because, conferences, there are many speakers coming. So I remember I've been to conference in UK, that is this GPU, and in Canada a couple of times to the RISC conference. And the last I remember was the Journey of Faith, again in Toronto. Except for these 3 or 4 conferences. After that, I made it a policy. Even in conferences, if you charge money, I'll not come. So alhamdulillah, I believe that the dawah should be done free. You can take sponsorship from the Muslim Ummah, but I don't agree with charging money for hearing lectures. Imagine if the Sahabas would have charged money, then would we have got the message? Of course no. We wouldn't have got the message. Now coming to your question, that when will you see me back in UK live? To tell you frankly, I have been to UK several times, maybe more than 10 times. And I don't think so that I urge to come back to UK again. But if given the opportunity, I wouldn't mind going, but not that I'm longing to go. I've been there several times. And now it's easy. We can come through the media, through the satellite, and even today, there may be hundreds and thousands of people in UK who are watching this session live. But naturally, the reach on the media is much larger. We have a satellite channel, Peace TV, which is yet being broadcast in different parts of the world. Besides the Peace TV, you have the Facebook, you have the Instagram, you have the YouTube, and millions of people watch. Though the percentage of people watching in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan is much more, but because the volume is large, there are, even in the Western world, there are millions of followers of my Facebook only in the Western world, alhamdulillah. And out of that, surely thousands may be watching these live programs that we have. So as far as the message reaching, yes, it is reaching. But I do agree with you, live is something else. The feeling of live is something else. What I really miss is our conferences in Bombay. Our conference in Bombay, the peace conferences, mashallah, the audience at one time used to be in hundreds of thousands. And last day, for my speech, about 250,000 people. So that is something which is phenomenal. Mashallah, 10 times more than the largest gathering that was there in UK, London. And when we give individual lectures, the gathering is larger. I remember the largest was in Kishanganj, where, mashallah, more than 1 million people live. So we miss those events. As far as large gathering is concerned, in the Western world, the gathering is not that big. 25,000 is. So what we really miss is the large gatherings. Yes, before COVID, the lecture that I gave in Indonesia was, mashallah, more than 100,000 people in Jakarta. I'd given in Kelantan in 2019. There are also more than 100,000 people. Not as large as India. What's happening in India, of course, that thing can take place maybe in Bangladesh or Pakistan. There we can have millions of people. But even having 100,000 people in Malaysia was great. So inshallah, now that the COVID is over and now the things are opening up, so inshallah we expect that we'll be having the talks in larger gathering. Regarding me coming to the Western world, after the onslaught of the Indian government and the allegation laid by the Prime Minister of my country, India, Narendra Modi, first he laid the allegation that I'm a terrorist, he had no proof, so he changed it to hate speech. He could not prove it, he changed to money laundering. So now, even money laundering has been rejected. 3 times he asked me from the Interpol and they rejected. And mashallah, so all these allegations now have fizzled down. But yet, India is a powerful country. So after 2017, when Indian government started asking me from different countries, I have a policy that I only accept invitation if I'm invited by the head of state, head of the country, or maybe a home minister, or from the official government channel. I have stopped accepting invitation from individual organizations. Unless they don't get me a letter from the head of state, I don't travel. And of course, after 2017, I've been traveling mainly to Muslim countries. And yes, I did receive invitation from several non-Muslim countries. But the closest that I accepted it was in 2020 when I got an invitation from Canada. When one of the Muslim MPs in Toronto, he invited me and said that Justin Trudeau was going to be the chief guest, and he wanted me also to be one of the chief guests. And it was supposed to be organized in April 2020. And because it was from the government side and from Justin Trudeau, I had accepted the invitation, but unfortunately COVID-19 came and most of the countries in the world started being blocked from March onwards. So by the time April came, the date that we were supposed to have the conference, it got cancelled, and that was the last that, of course, I received invitation from many non-Muslim countries. But even there was a country, I won't name it, that gave me invitation from the head of state, from the president, but my advisors told me it's not safe to go there. Even though I got an invitation from the head of state, please don't go because they may be close to India, so I had to politely refuse. But normally, if I accept an invitation, it should be from the head of state, and I doubt the UK head of state will invite me. The problem I have is not with non-Muslims. Majority of the non-Muslims that watch my programs, more than 75%, they are my fans. The problem of mine is with the non-Muslim politicians, whether it be in UK where I started, whether it be India, whether it be Malaysia. The non-Muslim politician, because of their vote bank. You remember when the government changed in UK, previously the Labour Party was ruling, the Conservative came, Theresa May did not know me. She only asked, who is the most popular Muslim speaker who comes to UK? Zakir Naik, bandit. So I was supposed to go in 2010. Wembley Arena was booked and many of the stadiums were booked. Just a week before I came, they excluded me, that I'm not allowed to enter. These are politics. Same thing in India. The problem I have with the politician, because of the vote bank, they lay allegations against me. And I have the problem even in Malaysia. The non-Muslim politicians, for the vote bank, they keep on accusing me. So I filed a defamation case against 5 politicians, mashallah. 5 politicians. That was in 2019 after my speech in Kelantan. And mashallah, out of which one politician before the case started, he asked for a apologize and asked for a settlement, and we agreed. The 2 of them, mashallah, they lost the case and they were asked by the judge that they should apologize, and 2 are yet pending. So by Allah's grace, alhamdulillah, but this is common for the vote bank. But generally, the non-Muslims who watch my video cassette, they are my fans. Whether it be in Malaysia, I get very often when I go to Malaysia, many non-Muslims want to take photographs with me, the Hindus, the Christians, many of the Chinese. It's common. The problem that I have is mainly with the non-Muslim politicians for the vote bank. So if Allah wills and if there is a change, inshallah, Allah knows best when is the right time. Otherwise, surely we will come via the satellite, we'll come via the social media, we'll come via the internet. The work will continue and the message will keep on reaching. As the beloved Prophet ﷺ said, inshallah, Islam will enter every home. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make me and Peace TV instrumental in fulfilling of this hadith. This was the last question that we could answer. Till we meet again 2 weeks afterwards. Today is the 19th. Till we meet again after 2 weeks, that's the 2nd of September, because next Saturday, being the 4th Saturday, there will not be Ask Sheikh Farik, because my son Farik is traveling to Indonesia for a lecture tour. He'll be there for about 2 weeks. So because of that, he will not be taking the session that is next Saturday. But after that, inshallah, the 1st Saturday of September, on 2nd of September, we'll meet again. Till then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.